The Nikon Z6 is an amazing camera, but it may have an audio input issue. To set a reference point, I'll show you how loud it is in this room right now. About 35 decibels. I'm not going to go into the audio quality of the built-in microphone because since I'm shooting with a 50mm lens, I'm never going to be closer than about 7 feet to the camera, and that's just not fair because even if it does sound good, it'd only be fair to review it very close to the microphone itself versus standing and talking so far away from it. I'm speaking into a Rode microphone right now, not connected to the Nikon Z6, but connected to a Ninja Flame by Atmos. This is because I know how this microphone should sound. It's how it sounds on connected directly to the Ursa Mini, and I know how it shouldn't sound. And the problem is it does not sound correct at all, as you're about to hear, when connected directly to the Nikon. Now, as you can hear with the microphone connected directly to the Z6, the audio sounds like, well, you know. There are two EQ options for the audio coming in. One, which you're listening to right now, is the voice range. So this should make your voice sound great. But as you can tell, it's really tinny, there's no bass, and the highs are cut off, which are probably on purpose, so when somebody's recording, you don't get that really boomy sound when you hit the mic or any hissing sound. But the problem is it just sounds terrible. So now let's go to the wide range, as you can change it to, and see how that sounds. We are now recorded in the wide audio setting, and as you can tell, it still sounds awful. There's no bass, there's a lot of hiss. I would like to think that this is not because the preamps are just that bad, but because there's just a very bad EQ setting baked in. So possibly and hopefully in a firmware update, we'll be able to have the preset of just bypassing any EQ when you have an external mic connected directly to the camera. On another note, all of this footage has been recorded via uncompressed 10-bit out via HDMI to the Atmos Ninja and then graded from the N-Log file, which you can only record in externally. And this is how the N-Log looks with no color correction. And we're back to good sounding audio. So for the time being, while the Nikon Z6 does have this audio issue, don't use the built-in microphone, don't use the built-in microphone input. Go ahead, record your audio externally and match it up to the image afterwards. It's just really hard for me to think that this is a permanent issue. If Nikon took so much time to create their first full-frame mirrorless camera and then just completely threw audio to the wayside, it just doesn't really make that much sense. And considering they don't have a professional video line to compete with like Sony and Canon does internally, I just don't see a reason to not put importance on the audio itself. But until then, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time.